I don't think 5 kids say that, at least not often. I got started some years back and really on a whim. I did international air and ocean freight, and I think a lot of you may be affected by the emerald ash borer that know about that bug. Right when that hit, we had an embargo against China, and I had a fella moving those dowels that were in the left-hand corner there in the picture, and the wood got contaminated to a certain degree, and he got in trouble in customs. I ended up buying a shipment just out of fortuitous behavior from him on a whim. I mean, it was a Jack and the Beanstalk story where I've spent a lot of money buying just wood dolls, and I'd figured out what I'd do with it later. The picture there before was my son, and he now works for Google. I had about 6 months from the time I bought it out of customs to deliver it here. And in that time I had to think about what I was going to do to it. And I had seen a couple of things on TV. 3 in the morning, I saw this freaking laser. Well, my son's a freaking genius. I've been paying for all this shit all along. I go, here, read this freaking manual. And I go, figure this shit out. And next thing you know, we started, I'm a big Ben Franklin. I believe that there's opportunity all around us, just waiting for the observant eye to discover it, and somebody or someone with kahunas to make a move on it. And it's funny because all these things just bring back memories of, there's an article written about me once that said that I expect to be paid and hugged. And when you see what I do, you go, dude, come here, man, I love you. And we get a guy's signature and whatever else he loves, and we start applying it. Now we're in the retail business. I just did, in fact, as a sales rep, I had taken so many people to dinner over the years, spending $400, $500, $600 on dinner. And then when I saw what I was doing was when making the bats and the reaction, and it lasts forever. And really what you don't see here in a lot of these is the signature is one thing that we put on the bats that's really part of the magic, but it's the handwritten salutation from the gift giver that makes it just the gift, the dagger to the heart. I mean, you're going to tell me how old a guy is, how big a guy is, why you're buying it for him. We're going to make it together. We're going to have a number of sales reps now working. And let me say this much too. I left in 1979, came back in '89 after my 3rd son was born. And what was great about it was I said I would never be any place else on earth. I signed a 30-year lease here in Cuyahoga County just to make sure. I figured I was 50 years old, I was in good shape, I could go 30 fucking years in Cleveland, and this is where I want to be. So that was just that simple. But I will sell out to the Yankees, and I sold that goddamn bat for $440. So, listen, and we're in Cleveland, baby C-Town. This is one I just made for Nick Swisher on the bottom, but it's really the typical bat. What makes it great is that it's going to be on somebody's mantle. We make stuff to be on your mantle for all the years. These are photos we're working with now, taking photos and laser engraving them on the bats, and colors and styles and types of wood you can't believe. And again, when you get paid and hugged to do what you do, you get up every day and you're pretty freaking happy. Life is goddamn good. These are just some more, you can imagine now, I think as the folks look at them, you can see everything. Somebody brings me a corporate idea, and that's mostly what I'm still at, but it's the handwritten salutation that makes it all about it. I'll tell you, I think the biggest thing for me is to continuously evolve. And that top bat shows it. We're taking antique car bats now and painting them to the custom codes you want. The bottom bat there, we call it a life story bat. That's my college football coach, and all those professional organizations and the colleges he taught at. It's called a life story bat. You can actually tell like a whole guy's life story on it. And I just made those for our boys that were so happy to come back to Cleveland and make a film here. That was way cool. I don't know if everybody knew about the Russo directors from Cleveland. Now I got into the big tables, bigger pieces of wood now. I'm opening up another store a little bit north of Detroit Avenue. And somebody got nervous the other day. They heard me say, Detroit, Detroit, you fucking leaving Cleveland. No, north of Detroit. Okay. Breathe through your fucking nose. Here's my monster Hobbit table. These are the type of tables we're going to be making over here now. Big live cut pieces of wood. Dream big, live big. And I love those things. There's not a lot of processing. We're taking, I just went up again Monday and got a lot of new pieces. I'll be taking the same technology and putting it on these great big corporate tables now. That's mostly what we have orders for. But and I love it. I just love working with wood. I love smelling it. And then you see the reaction, man. It just can't be any better. It's living the dream and making a few pennies doing it. That's what this crack house looks like that I work in. This is what happens when ADD runs rampant. What's really sad about that picture is there's 3 more things added since that was taken because it was last Thursday. It's bad what's going on. There's my best worker right there. They call him Miner. Well, we call him Coal Miner Mike. Now they used to call him Basketball Mike. My best employee, been with me. I opened up. He probably came in 2 months after. 2 months after I'd say I opened up, and he's been with me now 2.5 years. 11 freaking felony convictions. I like a guy that stays busy. And this is a good friend of mine's son who just happens to be the prettiest kid I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, that's as good at advertising as you can get right there. Look how happy he is holding a Johnnyville Slugger. Wouldn't you want to be that happy? It's very simple. This photo here, we're taking pictures now. I don't know if a lot of folks know, I do ESPN Big Stick Award, but we're taking that's what that top picture is. But the one on the left, now we weren't able to download the picture correctly. There's a little girl where we engrave her face right on the bat with her for her Father's Day gift, and the other guy was the fellow that got my first Johnnyville Slugger. And the only reason this pops up right here, I want to finish with this story. My grandfather died in 1967. I was 6.5 years old, and he would always grab me, point to my grandmother, and because she was always bitching at him, and he goes, I want to tell you something. He goes, you can't have, now you're talking about a coal miner, died of black lung. He says, you can't have a bad day above ground. Don't have a bad day above ground, people. Thank you very much.